This is Al Fritsch at earthhealing.info. Today we're going to invite you to come and visit the Old Friends, a thoroughbred retirement facility located off of Interstate 64 near Lexington, Kentucky. And it is easily reached. It's a place with a modest tour fee, and it's one in which it's interactive, that the people can meet and feed even some of the most famous horses of all times. This was started in 2003, and it was made because, in many ways, people were upset that when they heard the news that one of the Kentucky Derby winners, Ferdinand, had died in a slaughterhouse. And really, no animals should have to face that in the first place, but especially some of those which are so well known to the American public. And so a retirement facility is here, along with two satellites, one in New York and one in another portion of Kentucky. But here is the one that the most famous of the horses, such as Silver Charm. And this is one that people would really identify with and enjoy. And the animals enjoy having the people present too. Also, we're going to meet Michael Blowen, who runs this farm and who was at one time the film critic of the Boston Globe, got very interested in horses, came to Kentucky, and is now working full time with all his great enthusiasm to make this one of the great places to visit when you're here. Someone is coming in, one of the horses.
Yes, sir.
Michael, you know so much about this area. Can you tell us a few things about this favorite horse that you've got here?
Oh, sure. Well, that's Silver Charm. He won the Kentucky Derby in 1997. He won the Preakness the same year. Okay. He got beaten at Belmont by a horse named Touch Gold. Oh. And Touch Gold is right over there. So
oh, my goodness.
Can I have my kiss? Thank you. Thank you. You're so handsome. Huh? The horses that we have here.
Can I touch him?
Yeah, please. He doesn't like to get petted, but he loves getting a carrot. So if you give him, hold your hand out, give him a carrot, he'd love that. Yeah?
You don't like me petted?
No. For some reason he's a little head shy. He doesn't mind giving you a kiss. Do you? You know, people told me you can't. He's getting a little rough. I'm starting to enjoy that more than I should. I've probably been living on this farm a little too long. How about it? Huh?
He wants some more carrots.
Yeah. Yeah, so when after he won the big races in America, he went to Dubai and he won the Dubai World Cup.
Oh, I see.
And when he retired, as I say, he was the wealthiest horse ever at that point.
And silver is his color, which is very unusual for a thoroughbred.
Yeah, when he raced, he was steel gray.
Oh, is that right?
Yep. Now, we get older, we get
a little aged, and he does too.
A little whiter and a little grayer, just like him. But one of the great stories about him is that when he did go to Japan as a breeding stallion, when his breeding career was over there, the owners in Japan agreed to send him back because Mr. Lewis, his original owner, had put together a foundation so that when it was time for him to retire, he could come back because it's an expensive proposition.
Oh, yeah.
And we were very lucky to have him. How about he?
Does he get along with other horses?
Well, the stallions don't, we keep the stallions separate.
I see, okay.
The way I like to put it is that the stallions really like to have neighbors. Okay. They just don't want roommates.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's well said.
Yeah, that's interesting. They do want a horse near.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
You've been involved with horses long before you started this project, I'm sure.
But when I was growing up, I didn't think of anything about it. I just didn't. When I was a kid growing up in Connecticut, a Sports Illustrated would come in and the horses on the cover, I threw it away because I thought it was stupid to think of horses as athletes. And now after being around them, I realize that they're superior to their human counterparts.
We have a lot of tours, and it's a huge place. What, you got 400 or 500 acres? Or?
We have about just over 300, and we have 162 horses.
But it's a non-profit organization.
Yes, sir.
And you have to keep it with begging for money? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well,
we want to say that.
Yes, we beg for money.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the opposite now. I used to beg for money, but as soon as I stopped asking, I got more money. Because no matter what, they don't like it. Even if they like your idea, we have a sign over there. Bob Baffert, of course, who trains Justify, and Justify may be going, may get the Triple Crown. He's certainly going for the Triple Crown in 2 weeks.
Oh, so he's a trainer.
Yeah, Bob's been here a bunch of times because he trained this horse. This is his first Derby
right?
winner.
This is a trained horse.
Yeah, and he had War Emblem. War Emblem was a Bob Baffert horse, and he won the Derby and the Preakness.
Yeah.
And now we got, and Bob comes here all the time. But when he came here, he told me, he said people should give money to old friends. It's not a scam. So I have a sign over there that says, "Give money to old friends. It's not a scam." Bob Baffert.
I'll get a shot. I'll get a shot of that.
Oh my goodness! Well, that gets you some fun.
Well, so how was it that you started this specific thing?
Well,
I mean, you said
I was working at Suffolk Downs for a bottom of the barrel trainer, and that this is at the end of the line. The purses structure couldn't support the sport really, and not only at Suffolk Downs but other racetracks throughout New England, but Spare Races, Northampton, Marshfield, Brockton, Great Barrington. It just couldn't support it, and at the end of the day, if they couldn't win races at this level, these people essentially got stuck with them, and they were other people's cast-offs. You know what I mean? We had horses there that really were good at one time when they were 4 or 5, and then by the time they got to be 9 or 10 and got injured and couldn't run so much anymore, they'd end up down there. And then your alternatives for when I first started doing it and horses would disappear, I'd say, "Oh wow, this is good," and they go, "Yeah, we found a good home for that horse at a riding academy in Maine." Okay, nice. Well, it finally occurred to me there must be 10,000 riding academies in Maine, and I've never seen one. So
yeah.
I figured that's not.
It's hard to imagine a racing horse trotting along a trail.
Yeah. Well,
maybe they would.
Do it now. They can do it now, but not on the scope that was necessary, because these trucks would show up every week and pick up 10 horses and just go right to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
And so I was falling in love with these horses. That were, yes, that's right. You know that, don't you? And I knew that they deserved better. The more options you give horses in terms of making decisions, it seems the happier that they are.
Yeah.
So when we built this barn, we built the back door so they can go out if they want, or they can come in if they want. It's up to them. This is a horse named Bull Dior. It's a really, really nice horse. And he's in because he had a tumor on his hoof.
Oh.
And it's very rare. In fact, most of the veterinarians that I talked to have never heard of it before. He had it right on his hoof.
Wow.
And so it was surgically removed, and he's doing really, really well now. And he should probably be going back out in another week or so.
Oh, okay. And so that's why you leave some in.
Yes. Yeah. This whole winter,
they all stay.
No, they all stay out.
They all stay out.
In fact, it's funny because the only time we ever run into trouble with them is when it gets really hot, not when it gets cold.
Yeah.
We hardly ever lose a horse in the winter.
That's the way with all horses.
You know, this is Nicanor. Hi, handsome. Now, he wasn't a great racehorse. He won a couple of races, but he's a full brother to Derby winner Barbara. And he loves carrots. It didn't take him long to figure out the carrot deal, does it? Huh? You're so nice, huh? You're so nice.
You must have a whole team of, you have your, I forget, what's the name of they scrape out the hooves and put the
farriers.
Your farriers, yes, of course.
We're really lucky. Now here's the really lucky part about this place too. Our veterinarian is Dr. Brian Waldron. She's never sent us a new one. There's a place called the Park Equine Clinic that does surgery and is medical. They've never sent us a one.
Is that right?
That's great.
So when the horses come here, nobody has to worry about whether they're going to get the best health care or not, because the money won't stop us.
Sweet.
Whatever they need, they get. And it doesn't make any difference if they're 27 and never won a race, or they're 5 and are champions. The same deal all the way around, right? You're so handsome. You're so handsome. Yeah, we want to get here too. Hard to do about it.
You'll get used to it.
Joey. This is Joey P., one of the greatest of all New Jersey breds. Joe. He earned over $1 million. Racing in New Jersey. Hard to do.
Oh, you keep the other one open sometime.
Yeah.
Hey,
We
kiddo.
have the tours go through here, especially with the new horses. We're not sure how they're going to react to all the
Oh,
people.
okay.
So we
Oh, right.
we try to make it so that they feel comfortable and the people feel comfortable.
Yeah, so you want to
Yes. Blue Bosch.
do that.
He won the West Point handicap twice at the Saratoga.
Oh, really?
He's relatively new. We've only had him for about 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh, I think I was a little abrupt.
See, he's new, so everything's
Okay.
new to him. Huh.
Are you getting pictures?
He'll figure it out.
That was a great tour.
It's
Have you ever
really
had like a really psychologically troubled?
interesting. Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess-
I still got one. War emblem. He's
Kind of like children?
there. He is over there. He won the Derby in 2002. He's got all the stands over there now. And he won the Preakness the same year.
Mm.
And he's a complete narcissist.
Is that right?
It's only one way to do things, his way, period.
Mm.
Period. He has no use for anything else except himself. He adores himself and nothing else. You could give him a carrot and he won't take orders. He will not take orders. In fact, he won the Derby, he won the Preakness, he lost to the Belmont to a horse we have down there named Sarava. And then he came back and he won the Haskell Stakes up in New Jersey. I mean, he was just
So he had a
skyrocketing.
double win. He had a
Yeah,
double
now,
victory.
after that race, he decided, I don't have to do this anymore if I don't want to. And he stopped.
Oh, so he stopped performing? Or...
Stopped racing. He wouldn't even go out to the track for a workout.
Okay.
I was often wondered, and some of them are like that.
Yes.
I always thought every horse would do it, but I guess they
No.
didn't.
Well,
And
actually, I
some
thought
of
it
them
was
never
totally...
do it. Some of them do it sometimes. But Wayne Lucas came here after Charismatic came home. He came to see Charismatic. We were talking, and I told him Bob's story about Warren Moon quitting. He goes, a lot of my good horses quit. Winning Colors won the Derby.
They quit.
She quit. She just said, wait a minute. There's a little guy on my back with a stick. And
Yeah.
I'm supposed to go around in a circle. Everybody screams and yells. And then I get to go back to my stall.
And they just don't do it.
They stopped doing it.
Tried so much.
It looks like you have a pretty dedicated volunteer corps. People who really love their horses. And... Now, a friend of mine's sister's out in central Kentucky, but she's got rescue horses. I mean, I suppose that's just maybe not big winners or big runners. Or...
Yeah. I don't know. I always say the horses rescued me.
Oh, well, that seems.
I know Francois Trevaux.
Alors, tout le monde ici, vous avez ici le fondateur de la ferme Old Friends, qui est le founder Michael Blowen. C'est lui, là. He's paying attention to the horse, Nick and Nor. C'est celui qui est le dos au cheval. And I think we just scared him.
Hello, there's not a carrot, unfortunately. It's just a camera.
We have met Michael Blowen here at Old Friends, and it's so good to see how much they love the horses, the volunteers, the people who come, everyone. This is an introduction. We invite you too to come and see a beautiful place for the older horses. This is Al Fritsch, earthhealing.info. Come and see us sometime.